There is a quiet moment that happens in many homes every evening. A plate is set on the table, something warm, something familiar, something that feels safe. But what if I told you that one of the most harmless vegetables, something many seniors eat almost every day, could quietly increase your risk of a heart attack or stroke? Not over years, but almost overnight? I know that sounds alarming, and as a cardiologist, I do not say this lightly. I've sat across from patients who were doing everything right, avoiding junk food, reducing sugar, taking medications on time, yet suddenly their blood pressure spiked. Their arteries became unstable, and in some cases, the result was devastating. What shocked them the most was not what they were doing wrong, but what they believed was healthy. Today, I want to talk to you about a specific vegetable, how it's commonly prepared, and why under certain conditions it can become dangerous for your heart, especially if you're over 55. But more importantly, I will show you how to keep enjoying your meals safely, how to protect your arteries, and how to avoid a silent trigger that most people never even think about. Because this is not about fear, it's about awareness. As we age, our blood vessels become more sensitive. The inner lining of your arteries loses flexibility, which means sudden spikes in blood pressure or harmful compounds in food can affect you much more than they did in your younger years. This is where the problem begins. There is a very common habit, especially in traditional cooking, where this vegetable is cooked, stored, and then reheated. It feels convenient, harmless, even responsible. But inside your body, something very different may be happening. Certain compounds can change after cooking and storage, increasing oxidative stress in your bloodstream and affecting how your blood vessels respond. In people with high blood pressure, diabetes, or existing heart disease, this can create a dangerous chain reaction. A sudden rise in blood pressure, increased strain on the heart, and in rare but real cases, a trigger for a serious cardiovascular event. But before you panic, take a breath. This vegetable is not poison, and not everyone is at equal risk. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal exactly which vegetable this is, why reheating or improper storage changes its chemistry, and how you can still enjoy your meals without putting your heart at risk. Stay with me, because this may completely change the way you look at your kitchen. Now let's uncover what we're really talking about, because this might surprise you. The vegetable I'm referring to is leafy greens that are high in natural nitrates, especially spinach, celery, and beetroot when they are cooked, stored for long periods, and then reheated. In their fresh form, these vegetables are actually very good for your heart. They help improve blood flow, support healthy blood pressure, and provide essential nutrients your body needs. But the concern begins when they are handled improperly after cooking. You see, when nitrate-rich vegetables are cooked and then left at room temperature or stored for too long before refrigeration, the natural nitrates can begin to convert into compounds called nitrites. Under certain conditions, especially with repeated reheating, these can further form substances that may increase oxidative stress in the body. Now, for a young, healthy person, the body can usually handle small amounts of these compounds without any major issue. But for seniors, especially those with high blood pressure, heart disease, or diabetes, this added stress can affect the delicate balance inside the blood vessels. Imagine your arteries like soft, flexible pipes. Over time, with age and health conditions, those pipes become more rigid and sensitive. When harmful compounds circulate in the blood, they can irritate the inner lining, making it easier for plaque to become unstable or for blood pressure to spike suddenly. And this is where the real danger lies, not in the vegetable itself, but in the chain reaction it can trigger inside a vulnerable body. I've seen patients who had no obvious warning signs, but after a heavy meal with improperly stored leftovers, they experienced symptoms like dizziness, unusual fatigue, or even chest discomfort. Now, let me be very clear here, because this is important. This does not mean that eating spinach or beetroot will cause a heart attack. That is a myth. The real issue is how often these foods are reheated, how they are stored, and the overall health condition of the person consuming them. Another common misunderstanding is that reheating food is always safe as long as it's hot enough. But in reality, reheating does not reverse the chemical changes that may have already occurred during storage. Once those compounds are formed, heat alone cannot fully fix them. This is why the pattern matters more than the occasional meal. Eating freshly prepared vegetables is very different from repeatedly consuming leftovers that have been stored and reheated multiple times over several days. And here's something most people don't realize. Many seniors rely heavily on batch cooking for convenience. It saves time and effort, But without proper awareness, it can unintentionally increase exposure to these harmful changes. So before you change your diet completely or eliminate these vegetables out of fear, stay with me. Because in the next part, I'm going to show you exactly how to enjoy these foods safely, what simple habits can protect your heart, and the common mistakes you must avoid starting today. Now the good news, and I want you to really hear this, you do not have to give up these vegetables to protect your heart. In fact, when used correctly, they can still be some of the most powerful foods for supporting healthy blood pressure and circulation. The key is not elimination. It's preparation and awareness. The first and most important habit is this. Try to eat nitrate-rich vegetables like spinach, celery, and beetroot as fresh as possible after cooking. If you prepare them, consume them within the same meal or within a few hours. The longer they sit, especially at room temperature, the more their chemistry begins to change. If you do need to store them, make sure they are cooled quickly and placed in the refrigerator within 2 hours. This slows down the conversion process significantly. But even then, it's best to consume them within 24 hours and avoid reheating them more than once. And this brings me to a very common mistake I see all the time: reheating the same food multiple times. Many people will take a portion out, heat it, then put it back, then reheat again later. Each cycle increases the breakdown of nutrients and raises the chance of unwanted compounds forming. Another simple but powerful habit is portion control. Instead of cooking a large batch meant to last several days, try preparing smaller portions more frequently. I understand this may feel inconvenient, especially if you live alone or have limited energy, but even slight adjustments here can make a big difference for your heart. Now let's talk about pairing. When you eat these vegetables with foods rich in antioxidants, like fresh lemon juice, garlic, or vitamin C-rich fruits, you help your body neutralize some of the oxidative stress. It's a small change, but it creates a protective effect inside your bloodstream. Hydration is another often overlooked factor. When your body is well hydrated, your blood flows more smoothly, and your vessels are less likely to react strongly to temporary stressors. Dehydration, on the other hand, can amplify the impact of these compounds. And please remember this: your overall lifestyle matters just as much as any single food. Regular gentle movement, managing stress, taking your prescribed medications consistently, and getting proper sleep all work together to protect your arteries. One more thing I want to gently correct is the idea that healthy food is always safe, no matter how it's used. Even the healthiest foods can become harmful if handled improperly. Awareness is what turns a good diet into a truly heart-protective one. So don't be afraid of your kitchen. Just become more mindful of it. Because small daily habits, how you cook, store, and reheat your food, can quietly shape your heart health over time. And in the final part, I want to speak to you not just as a doctor, but as someone who deeply cares about your long-term well-being. Because what you do next could truly change the direction of your health. I want you to take a moment and think about your last meal, not with fear, but with awareness. Because the truth is, most heart problems don't begin with something dramatic. They begin quietly, with small repeated habits that seem harmless at the time. And that's what makes this so important. It's not about one plate of reheated vegetables. It's about the pattern, the daily routine, the little shortcuts we take when we're tired, busy, or simply unaware. Over time, these patterns can either protect your heart or slowly place it under stress. But here's the part that gives me hope every single day as a doctor. These patterns can be changed. No matter your age, no matter your past habits, your body still responds to better choices. Your blood vessels still benefit from care. Your heart still listens. I've seen patients in their 60s and 70s make small adjustments, simple changes like eating fresher meals, improving hydration, being more mindful about reheating, and within weeks, their energy improves, their blood pressure becomes more stable, and they feel more in control of their health again. You don't need perfection. You don't need a complicated diet. You just need awareness and the willingness to make small, consistent changes. So instead of asking, what should I stop eating? Start asking, how can I prepare my food in a way that truly supports my body? That one shift in thinking can change everything. Remember this, the goal is not to fear food. The goal is to understand it. Because when you understand what's happening inside your body, you make decisions from a place of confidence, not confusion. And if today's message has opened your eyes, even a little, then it has done its job. Take this knowledge into your kitchen. Share it with someone you care about, a parent, a friend, a loved one who might still be following habits they believe are safe. Because sometimes protecting the heart isn't about doing more. It's about doing things differently. If you found this helpful, I invite you to support the channel by liking this video, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Tell me, had you ever heard about this before? And what small change are you planning to make starting today? Your heart is listening. Take care of it.